Hi, I'm Casey Henry and welcome to the Murphy Method. Today we are going to look at a little lick that is a G lick. It is used in both lead and backup playing. This one doesn't really have a name. In my last tutorial we looked at the tag lick, which is probably the most common lick in Scruggs style bluegrass playing. And this one is also really common, but it doesn't have a convenient name attached to it like the tag lick does. Here's what the lick sounds like. So you'll find this in lead breaks like the Murphy Method teaches it in $2 Bill, which is also called Long Journey Home. And you will find it in a lot of low rolling backup and also banjo backup played behind the fiddle. So we're going to break this down like I did in the tag lick tutorial and go through it a couple notes at a time with repetitions so that you can practice it along with me. So for this one, I'm going to say all the notes at the beginning so you can kind of have in your head what's coming up, and then we're going to break it down with lots of repetitions after each addition of notes. So here is what the lick sounds like. And this is really easy to loop around and play lots of them in a row. Okay, so here's what the notes are. I'm going to say them all together at first, and then we're going to break it down even more. So it starts with an open 3-1. Then you're going to slide on the 4th string from the 2nd fret up to the 5th fret. This is a fast slide from 2 to 5. And then after that, you are going to roll on the open strings 3-1, 5-3-1. And index finger is picking those 3rd strings right there. So. Okay, that's the overview of the lick. Now let's break it down even further. All right, to start the lick, we are going to play a 3-1, leading off with the thumb on the 3rd string. So there's your 3-1. The next lick is the slide. So you're going to fret this with your middle finger. Start at the 2nd fret of the 4th string, picked with your thumb, of course. Slide up to the 5th fret. Now, on this slide, there's no hesitation at the beginning of this at all. You're going to hit it and move. It is a fast slide, and this is just good advice for any slide of any length. You want to have a definite starting and ending point. So even though it is a really fast slide, make sure that when you are fretting the 2nd fret prior to sliding your finger, that there is a point at which your finger is still. You don't want to hit it while you're already moving. You want to have your finger fretting the string and then slide it. So you want a definite, still starting point, and you want a definite, still ending point. So sliding from 2nd fret to 5th fret. And when you get up there, I don't know how well you can hear it on this audio, but my note is still ringing out when I get there. So you want to keep this fretted for a long time, actually, to let that note ring out. Okay, so let's put that with the first 2 notes. So now we've got a 3-1 and then the slide. Try and let that note ring as much as possible. Again, ready, play. 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 One more, ready, play. Okay, the next 2 notes are open 3, open 1. So we started with a 3-1. Here's another 3-1, but this time you're picking the third string with your index finger. That is really important because you have just picked the slide with your thumb. So you can't use it again on the third string. That would be double thumbing, and that is not allowed. So index finger on third string, middle finger, of course, on first string. So before we put this back together with the prior 3 notes, we're just going to back up 1 note and put it with the slide. And you want it to sound like this. Okay, so you have that fast, strong slide, which segues right into the 3-1. There's no pause at the end of the slide. It just goes, your roll continues right on into that 3-1. Okay, so let's try it together. Ready, play. 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 1 more, ready, play. Okay, so now we're going to back up and attach those first 2 notes. So starting with the 3-1 that preceded the slide. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Ready, play. Ready, play. Ready, play. Ready, play. Ready, play. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, good. Now we're going to add on our last 3 notes, which are just an open forward roll of 5-3-1. Once again, index picking that third string. Okay, so we're going to add those 3 notes on. That gives us the whole lick. But notice, excuse me, as we play it through, that you are still holding your middle finger on this 5th fret of the 4th string where you arrived at the end of the slide. It stays down for the entire roll pattern. So watch me do it this time. Now, in the course of your playing, like when you actually incorporate this into a song or backup pattern, you're going to have to pick up that middle finger because something comes after it. But for practice purposes, I want you to hold it down for the entire roll to keep that note ringing out as long as possible. Okay, so let's try this together from start to finish. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 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 2 more. 1 more. Okay, so that is our whole lick. You may need to spend some time with it, play through that little section that we just did more times until you are totally comfortable with it. Because what we're going to do next is to hook these together without a pause in the middle. The timing is such that you can play these end to end in a continuous loop. And it's going to sound like this. I'll just do it 2 times for demo. It's going to sound like this. So that was twice through. Let's try it together. I'm going to slow it down a little bit since this is the first time you have hooked it together end to end. And we'll do a few repetitions. So a little bit slower than I just played it. 1, 2, ready, play. 2 more. 1 more. Now, in that exercise, if you found yourself getting lost and not sure where the lick was starting over, kind of just getting lost in the roll, it's probably too soon for you to try and loop them around like that. So go back to this section where we practiced it with the pause in between and counted off each one. Practice it there for longer, and then come back and try this exercise again. Okay, now this next little exercise is for those of you who either already play the tag lick or have been through my tag lick tutorial to learn the tag lick. So for this, you have to know and be comfortable playing through the tag lick. So I'm assuming that you already know the tag lick here, because a really common combination of licks is to have one of these slide backup licks plus a tag lick. And they're kind of interchangeable, so you can either lead off with the tag lick or you can lead off with the slide lick, and we're going to practice it both ways. So the first way that we're going to combine these is to have one slide lick plus one tag lick. And in this case, we are not putting the pinches onto the end of the tag. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so just to be clear, the tag lick half of this by itself is. So this is a little bit unusual in how we use the tag, because we're not even playing the final third string. We're leaving off the last third in order to start another lick here. So you play everything in that tag lick except the final third string and no pinches. So it just essentially ends on a first string. So think of your tag as ending on that first string right there. So let's try that together. One slide lick followed by one tag lick. 1, 2, ready, play. Now tag. Okay, so that is the combo. And we're going to take that and we're going to loop it around and what could be an endless loop. I mean, we're going to stop it, but you can play it as long as you want to practice this. And it's a common way that you would find it used in the context of backup to a song. Okay, so here we go. I'll count us off. Leading off with the slide lick, following up with the tag lick. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, so that was leading off with the slide lick. Now let's do an exercise where we lead off with the tag lick. So one tag lick followed by one slide lick. That is our pattern. Here's what it's going to sound like. loop it around. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, so that is your exercise for today. Now, naturally, that is still a lot slower than it would actually appear in a song. Just to give you an idea of what it sounds like at regular song tempos, here is the last thing we just played, tag lick followed by slide lick at a much faster pace. So here. So it gets speeded up quite a bit when you're actually going to use it behind a song. I hope you have enjoyed this little G slide lick tutorial. If you want to find more of my lessons, there are some full lessons available here on YouTube. You can just search Casey Henry full lessons and it should bring them up. You can also find more of my lessons available for purchase over at caseyhenry.net. And you can find our full line of Murphy Method DVDs and downloads at murphymethod.com. Thanks for listening.